Run when the rhythm's right. Go into the night. Throw until you're out of sight and you're out of my mind. Run when the rhythm's right. Go into the night. Floating as the river flows, easy as it goes to the ocean. So walk on by, I've got no reason to love you, but I do, I do, I do. So walk on by, I've got no reason to love you, but I do, I do, I do. Show me colors of the sky, but all I see is gray. You lost me when you lied. Promise me, but you never tried. Secrets in your eyes. You go and run, I'll hide. Show me colors of the sky, but all I see is gray. You lost me when you lied. I don't ever wanna be crowned, just another prize. It breaks my heart, heart. Breaks my heart, 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 heart. Breaks my heart, 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 heart. Breaks my heart, heart, heart. Breaks my heart. Lost in the midnight blue, shadows of the moon. Here with open arms for you, feeling something so new. Said with me you'd reach the sun, oh but we were so young. Love me till the summer's done, but keep me in your heart, so I hold on. So walk on by, I've got no reason to love you, but I do, I do, I do. So walk on by, I've got no reason to love you, but I do, I do, I do. Show me colors of the sky, but all I see is gray. You lost me when you lied. Promise me, but you never tried. Secrets in your eyes. You go and run, I'll hide. Show me colors of the sky, but all I see is gray. You lost me when you lied. I don't ever wanna be crowned, just another prize. It breaks my heart. Colors of the sky, breaks my heart. All I see is colors of the sky, but all I see is colors of the sky. Colors of the sky, but all I see is colors of the sky. But all I see is colors of the sky. Colors of the sky, but all I see is colors of the sky. All I see is colors of the sky. Shook me to the ground now, and somehow I feel like you don't know me. Shook me to the ground now, I don't even know how. Brought me to a life that you never showed me. Coming from a locked up ghost, I'll be yourself. But you're coming from the light. There's more to you than you ever thought there was. Yeah, you're coming from the light.
All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome. My name is Resorty, and to you, one and all, I say, Nom's almost here. Hello, Noms. Camera. Hello, friends.
Hello, friends. You're not wearing a tie.
It's a Saturday. On Saturdays, I tend to be a little bit loosey-goosey with outfit. That was strange. It seemed that the camera hung into like black. Into black nothingness for a moment.
Oh.
Yeah, it's all very strange. Hopefully it's not going to continue today. We'll see.
Oh,
anyway, how's it going, folks? Good to see you all today. Hope your lovely time is going, lovely. Sacratera, it's nice to see you. Hello to you, Pepper MG. Hi, Axix, Agonarch. A pleasure as always. Welcome. Grooming Grimes asks, will there be a Nom's outfit reveal today?
No.
We'll get back to that in a second. But yeah, Nom's wearing the right color, though. This is the color of a regalia, kind of, sort of. But that is not your regalia. It is merely a sweatshirt. That's how it goes. Hello to Jim. It's good to see you, friend. Hope things are going well for you, Jim, as always. Hello, Marks. Hello, Mithras. Green Concrete, welcome back. A pleasure to see you, Dogberry. Welcome. Hello to Risky. Hello to Labragoff. Thanks all for being here on this lovely American Saturday. Other way.
Though.
Japanese Saturday, American Friday.
There you go.
It is the weekend here, and I'm actually a little excited for the weekend because you've been working very, very hard recently, and it's nice to have you around.
That implies that I don't work very, very hard at other times.
No, it's just this week you've been especially focused because you had a big task yesterday, and that's done now, and so with that being done, you have time to take for yourself, hopefully. Yeah, absolutely. So the big thing yesterday, of course, was commencement. Our students graduated. Mm-hmm. And there were like 250 or so of them.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and a whole bunch of parents and loved ones were all very excited, and big full theater hall, and us up on stage.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Oh, Green Concrete has some information for us about other countries' graduation. In Ireland, only women wear caps or gowns with a bachelor's degree, as education is capped at that level. Wait, really? That's amazing.
No, I'm like, is this a joke?
I'm surprised by this. I mean, awesome. Thanks for teaching us that. But yeah, it did feel like the form of the joke for a moment there.
Yeah.
But education is capped at that level, huh? I've never heard that before, but thanks for teaching us stuff. That's quite something. Huh. Yeah, one thing I love about graduation ceremonies is seeing all the different faculty and administration with all their different robes from many different schools around the world, including yesterday for the first time ever, I saw someone who had a Polish outfit on. He had a PhD from a Polish Jesuitical school, and it really and sincerely looked like the kind of outfit that a minor church official would wear, a Catholic church official. So it had like a stole, I think it's called, like the kind of mantelpiece that goes around the chest.
A bib?
It's a bib that goes all the way around, yeah. And then he wore a square hat.
A moat?
Yeah, a square hat. Not like the mortarboard that's flat, but it goes down around the head. And I should have gotten pictures.
Like a square fez?
Kind of a square fez, yeah.
But it's like up front instead of back here?
Yeah, across the head, the whole of the head. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and it really surprised me. I had no idea what that kind of outfit meant.
You sure? Did you compliment him on his outfit?
No, because a lot of other faculty were commenting on these things. A lot of other faculty were like, "Hello, Reverend," which I thought was funny, but I didn't want to get involved with it because I didn't actually know the guy.
Oh, you thought it was very vulgar.
I mean...
By vulgar, I mean something that the common people do.
Yeah, we don't really comment, of course. But no, I think at a certain point, the same joke's made over and over again, especially when one can't change. It feels especially horrible.
Well, he doesn't have to wear that outfit.
It's his outfit.
He can just go rent a different outfit.
I guess so. I guess he's choosing to be conspicuous in his strange Polish outfit. All right. That's how it goes. That's how it goes.
Seems like his character.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
Seems fitting.
Yeah, so the big part of the show for us yesterday, of course, was that you were up on stage reading all
I'm
of
always
the...
up on stage.
You were up on stage reading all of the names.
Hi.
And so, do you want to talk about that experience?
Sure. It was fine. I practiced, and it went fine. I made a few errors, mostly on American names.
Can you believe it? I
read a man's middle name before his first name.
Yeah.
What else?
That said, he was a man with 3 first names. His name may as well be Charles John James. May as well be. And so you could just mix and match. Any 3 of them could go any position. But yeah, it was surprising me that you flipped that because on the little card in front of you, it said his name in the correct order.
Yeah.
You got overly confident.
Well, I think what you didn't see is it was like first name, middle name, last name.
Yeah.
And the middle name was much longer than the first name. Now, that said, I do think I got overconfident with the American names, and I was a little bit worried about being hubristic with the American names. Like, oh yeah, I can just read. All I have to do is just read.
Yeah.
Right.
Where the Vietnamese names and Thai names, you have to do a little extra work.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. I had to so I repeated it in my head before I said it. Whereas American names, I'm like, and I just read it, whatever.
Yeah. That said, the language faculty that I sat behind were very impressed by your pronunciation of non-Japanese, non-English names.
Did they teach those languages?
I don't know.
No, they do not, because we do not offer those languages here.
I just mean to say they were impressed. They went, ooh, Sugoi, and I found it delightful. So, yeah, I mean, people were quite impressed with you yesterday, and I know you very much go to just doing my job here, just do my job, but I think people were impressed with you yesterday. Yeah. You spent a lot of time practicing.
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing we learned about yesterday is it's much harder for us to be excited while saying Japanese names.
Yeah. At least if you're trying to still be serious and not like, I joked to you that maybe I should go to more baseball games to learn how to excitedly say Japanese people's names.
Yeah.
But then I did that. Then that seems kind of comical for commencement.
It does, but it seemed like the English names that you spoke, you were speaking them with a kind of excitement that wasn't there with the Japanese names.
Yeah, I mean, but that could just be my own limitation.
Possibly. You also said that where you speak in the different languages, forward and back in your mouth, is easier to be excited the farther forward you go.
Maybe. I mean, It could be because my excitement is expressed typically in American ways, right?
Japanese is not exciting. No excitement allowed. Yeah. So we said yesterday that we'd try to get your outfit to wear on stream to show off just how cool you look. What happened?
Yeah, so I'd forgotten that I'm supposed to leave it behind, right? And so if I had brought it, they'd be like, oh, someone stole the outfit. We must go search for the outfit all over the hall.
May I fill in a little bit of actually, ask it this way. Why are you expected to leave your outfit behind? Is it because it belongs to the school?
No, it is shipped back.
It
is put on, like, some sort of hanger system.
Yeah.
They put a bunch of them on there and they roll them back to the school for us.
Oh, a bunch of them? You mean like professors like me? A bunch of them are taken back? No.
Professors like you are expected to wear yours back to your office and leave it there.
Carry it around, that's right. So why would they carry yours back and forth?
Because I read names.
Because you're a big fancy. That's right. Because Nam's a big fancy, she's not allowed to carry her own around.
I mean, it's a little weird because even in my last school, I was used to just either bringing it myself and having a changing room. Like, that was the big thing in... No, I guess I had a changing room 2 schools before, too. I just didn't use it.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to... So, I would usually just change in my office and just walk on over.
Yeah. But not anymore.
Yeah, not anymore. Because they collect it like 2 days in advance.
They do. And have to point out that I had a little changing room to go use with like 47 other faculty, little noms in the VIP changing room. Oh, ho,
Now,
ho.
I will say there are some faculty who get to use the VIP room. Not the same VIP room as my VIP room, of course.
Your VIP room had a sink in it. A sink. Two sinks.
It had 2 sinks. Yeah, it was like a proper green room. So it had 2 sinks. It had a monitor.
Yeah.
So they could monitor what was happening on stage. A bank of mirrors.
Whew. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Hello to you, Gusty Rill. I'm sorry, the game will begin soon. For right now, it's just me chit-chatting, but welcome. Were you playing some CK3? What were you doing today, Gusty? Welcome to the channel. Thank you for your kindness. Orange, it's good to see you, my friend. Hello to you, iRock. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We start most days' streams by chit-chatting a little bit about, I don't know, whatever comes to mind. And then we'll get some CK3 soon enough. You're playing some CK3. Awesome. I hope it was a lovely time. Hopefully you're accomplishing all of your goals. As of right now, I'm accomplishing none of my goals, and the playthrough's falling apart.
Oh, no.
It's fine. These things happen. We'll be okay.
Oh, no.
But Mr. Orange says I'm a good man. Hey, thanks, Orange. I appreciate you. You spreading the love and being out there representing me. I'll send you your check in the mail very soon for marketing fees.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're not able to wear your fancy clothes on stream because they are being carefully taken from place to place on campus right now.
That's what we think. Carefully taken. They're probably like,
Absolutely.
shove it in the box.
Absolutely right. Red Zires, how's it go, my friends? Good to see you. Mom of 3 teens. I'm sorry. Welcome, though. Hello. Hope it's going well. Having 3 teenagers seems very, very busy.
Yeah.
Yeah. All those places to go, all those things to do.
Yeah, and I thought that was like an American thing. And then I talked to one of my colleagues here who has a child of, I don't know, 11, I don't know.
Yeah.
Somewhere in the Middle Ages.
In the Middle Ages?
No,
like Crusader Kings 3?
Sure. And she said that, like, their entire weekend is, like, schlepping their son about to all of his baseball things.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I guess it is here as well. There's, you know what, now that I think about it, yeah. Another one of my colleagues has, like, an 11 or 12-year-old daughter, and she's, like, in dance team and lacrosse team and, like, yeah.
Living a full life. Why can't you just sit in your bedroom and play video games? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, but I feel like I thought the over programming of the youth was an American phenomenon.
Yeah,
It's not.
yeah.
It's here too.
All around the world, young people want to do all the things. And that's how it goes. Yeah, hey, Dogbird. Made him very Charlemagne to all youth baseball games. Absolutely right. The Middle Ages, the parents had to do so many things. Love it. What else we got today? Yeah, yesterday was really just commencement for me, and
Now, I will say the reason I get my robe schlepped is because I have a board meeting right before commencement.
Right. Big fancy board meeting before.
Oh, here's the other thing I was going to say. At my last school, the VIP dressing room was the anatomy lab.
That's right.
So there were, like, little human skeletons hanging around. Little bones.
Yeah, this one, though, it is a proper green room.
Yeah, because it's a big concert hall.
Wait, why is the green room called the green room? I have no idea, actually. Does anyone know this? The area where a performer waits before going on stage, the green room. I have absolutely no idea why, though. Do you have any guesses?
I mean, green means go.
Yeah.
Or green because you're getting ready, so you're green. Or it could be something to do with green screens. I don't know.
My guess is it predates green screens, but I'm really not sure. I'm guessing someone's heard the Googling that. If not, I will do so. We'll see.
Yeah.
You'd be tempted to hang clothes on the skeletons. I think the anatomy lab would be unhappy if you did that. But here we go. The origin of the term is ascribed to rooms historically being painted green.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
All right, there you go. So the room was painted green. That really
it just
is
happened
it.
to be painted green.
So it could have been the blue room or the red room. It's just based on color. That's, I have to say, profoundly disappointing.
I will say at my last school, because our auditorium wasn't big enough to do commencement in, we had had it in like the gym or something. But the auditorium had a green room, and I think that was painted green, like aquamarine maybe.
Ooh,
it was a terrible color.
If only it were called the aquamarine room.
Yeah,
It'd be great.
I think it was called the lunchroom for some people.
Love it, love it. You said you only have 250 graduates, so I think 250 or so walked yesterday. There are more beyond that.
Yeah.
Because we're here in Japan, and a lot of the students are internationals. Many of them do go home.
Yeah.
Before commencement comes along. But if the real question is how large is this school? Not gigantic. It's not the tiniest school I've ever taught at. I taught at a school about like 900 students or so for a while there. But it's not the biggest university taught at either.
It might be the smallest I've taught at. For me, it might be the smallest I've taught at.
Your first one out of graduate school was fairly small, also, but not this small.
I don't think so. It was about the same.
Yeah, about the same. Yeah. It's very strange talking this quasi code. It's fun. But it's a fairly small school. I mean, here in Tokyo, I actually don't know how many universities. I remember, like, when I was in the U.S., I think about Boston, and Boston is the place with so many colleges and universities, and there's, I don't know, like 12 maybe. And then here in Tokyo...
Oh, there's a ton. There's just a ton.
Pile.
And I think the biggest one is Nihon University, which has, like, multiple branch campuses, It's like
all
known
in
as
Tokyo. All in Tokyo.
And it's known as, like, the huge school. I actually don't know how many tens of thousands are at Nihon, but...
Yeah, it's absolutely. I mean, part of it is just the population of the city is larger than the population of most U.S. states and a huge swath of the rest of the world. But there's so many schools here. Yeah. And we're in partnership with various of them, so some of their students come to our school also, and we're doing fine. We're just not the biggest school in the world. That's okay. That's okay.
I can only teach to be at the biggest school in the world. I mean, I went to one of the biggest schools in the United States for a while, and I don't know. It doesn't feel any different.
Yeah, because you went to a very small school for undergrad and then a very large school for graduate school. I did the same thing, actually.
Yeah.
And it really does change things. Now, that said, being a graduate student, I don't think I really care about the size of the school, because I care about my office and my professor and like walking back and forth between the library and home.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? And if you're a graduate student, you're only taking classes in your unit. Whereas if you're an undergraduate, you're probably like busing yourself across campus to... Yeah. I mean, I did teach... At one school I taught in the ag building, which was a walk. And then at another school I taught... I don't know what that building was, but it was really far away when I was in graduate school.
Yeah.
And it had, like, multiple libraries, right? It was one of those universities.
Yeah. The small school I taught at, all of my classes were in the same building. And it was a 3-story house that it was, like, from 1800 or so. And I taught in there, and it was just fine. And, it was a very strange experience where I think in the larger schools, you do take tremendous amount of time to get from place to place.
And there's shuttle buses.
There's shuttle buses and all the rest, absolutely.
Yeah, I interviewed at a school that had 3 campuses that were a few blocks apart from each other, right?
That's right.
You could theoretically walk it, but
Yeah, you said a lot of people biked, right?
Yeah.
A little bit of faculty biking around with their... little papers under their arms and so on. Hey, Spracknell, how's it going? Good seeing you.
Maryland.
Maryland's huge. Yeah, I mean, all these gigantic schools. All your children go to Division III liberal arts schools. I went to a Division III liberal arts school. You did also. Yeah. We're all liberal artsy in this family.
D3 no scholarships.
Absolutely. Yeah, so sports is part of the story, but not really.
Yeah, I mean, I taught at a D2 too, which I think is like a really nice mix in some ways.
Yep. Absolutely. Needs to be a noms emote at this point. We'll talk about a noms emote, but
yeah, where's my emote?
I
was promised an emote.
Oh, promise is a big word. Did I promise it really? No.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I think we talked about getting an emote, but just not quite ready yet. Haven't figured out exactly how to do it. Gotta be a good one.
Oh, Coplax. I love Coplax too.
Do you want to talk about Coplax?
What is it? Oh, wait. Oh, it's the CEO. Yeah, I was like trying to figure out the CEO, the Council of Public Liberal Arts Colleges.
Yeah, exactly right.
So they're public liberal arts colleges, which means that they're not so snooty.
Yeah, so most liberal arts colleges are private schools.
And not so expensive, hopefully.
Yeah, and then there's some that are state-supported or at least state-affiliated. Yeah, and they're very cool. We talked about going to one a couple years back, I think.
Yeah, my friend teaches at one, and yeah, I think it's really cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I think that we have certain biases about like the goodness of small schools because it's possible or more simpler to just simpler to get to know students personally, and that's really important. I think for both of our developments as people, and so I like to be able to do the same thing with my students also. And at the larger schools I've taught, it hasn't happened nearly as effectively, but.
Yeah, when I was in high school, I had a friend who was like really, really, really good at math, though.
Okay.
And like, was very self-motivated in like mathy things and not self-motivated in other areas that he did not care about. But, he went to the local R1, like the local state school. But I think he did, like, for me, I feel like, that was probably a really good fit for him because he was so self-motivated and ahead in math that, like, he would have been able to take advantage of, like, graduate level classes and, like, he would have, like, stuck out to his professors anyway, so he would have gotten attention anyway. Whereas, like, I feel like I might have gotten lost there. Yeah,
what I'm hearing is that we were probably underdeveloped humans who needed personal care to grow. That is definitely me.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I think it also has to do with, like, character or, like, the type of character or, personality you have.
Sure.
And so he, like, even in high school, like, he knew what he was interested in, and if he wasn't interested in it, he just didn't care, didn't do the homework for that. So, self-motivated really in a different way, whereas I tend to be, like, influenced by my environment.
Yeah, and especially as a youngster, you were that way.
Oh yeah.
You said the kind of friends you had around you would help you do better or worse and all the rest.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I'm glad I went to the college I went to.
Yeah, no doubt. Sprackman, you got back from driving your newly permanent 15-year-old went over 40 miles an hour. Congratulations. Congratulations to them also. Hopefully the driving adventure goes well.
Are you driving in parking lots? Like the giant parking lots?
Yeah. Where did you learn to drive?
Basically on campus.
Yeah.
So my dad worked at the not main campus, but the like away from main campus location of the college that was in town. And on weekends, of course, the parking lots were empty. There were these giant parking lots, but they were empty, and so that's where I was taken to learn to drive.
Yeah, I think it was like the law school.
The law school parking lot.
The law school parking lot.
Because the lawyers are not there on the weekends.
Absolutely.
There was, I mean, dental school had a bigger parking lot, but there would be some cars there sometimes.
I see. Is that because they had like clinics on the weekend?
Probably.
Or
they probably had like like people would probably come in.
Yeah. I love that. I think for me it was just a big mall.
Oh yeah.
I think it was first the grocery store. Oh no. Now that I think about it, I'm sorry. It was actually a community college in my hometown also, and the community college was a big commuter school for the area, and so there were huge parking lots. And so initially it was the community college. And then it was the grocery store parking lot, and that was terrifying because people were pulling out and pulling in. It was so many things to see.
Yeah, that's actually like a grocery store when there's people there.
Yeah,
is one of the worst.
Yeah, that was pushing me up a little bit. And then eventually went to the open road. And my father did the most helpful thing ever, which is you can stop at any point. And he didn't mean like you can stop being a driver, but he meant like literally the brake pedal's right there. If it's totally out of control, just stop moving the car. And like even though you'd be obstructing things, I felt empowered in a way. Where I think if I were just like, okay, you got to keep with traffic, good luck, I'd feel really overwhelmed. But, I never ended up doing the big braking thing, but it was nice to know the possibility at least.
Yeah, and then you get rear-ended.
Yeah, absolutely. Hello to you, King. Kim, rather, you were here a month ago. Am I also playing Crusader Kings? Yes, Crusader Kings being played right now. We'll get to the game in probably just a little bit, don't you worry. That said, an ad break is coming in just one moment, so we should probably
An ad break coming is.
Are you
Yoda?
Yes. I gotta work on my dialogue here. Anyway, let's go take a quick break, do a tiny little bit of crosswording.
Okay.
And then we'll come back for a little more chit-chat,
okay.
And then for some CK3. Thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out. It's a nice thing. So, you all go into emote-only mode.
Oh, no. This is where we say offensive things, and they can't reply.
What offensive things do you want to say, Nams?
I don't know. Nothing.
Nams, are you an offensive person?
But no, they would never let an offensive person read all the names at graduation.
It's true. So it is a Friday in the U.S., and so the New Yorker will be very, very easy. We'll see how this goes. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Do you want to be a typer or no?
No. I don't know how your interface works, so.
Okay. This is by Brooke Husick. We know her from the Times. Yeah. She has good puzzles. All right. React to an absurd idea.
Is it like snort?
My guess is it might be laugh or snort. Yeah, let's try snort and see how it goes. Disheveled state. Yeah, I'm not sure. Spain's Canarias, por ejemplo.
Islas.
It's an I, exactly right, yeah. It's an A, isn't it? Islas.
Well, I think you're supposed to give it in Spanish, yeah.
You're absolutely right. Jacket part that can be notch, peak, or shawl. Yeah, no idea. Let's look at it down instead. Arctic transport option.
That's a sled.
It's a sled, absolutely. I love it. Rebound.
Or rebound.
Or rebound. I'm not sure. Gives a take. Well, they like acts.
Gives a take.
Gives a take. Also, I like on the far side of the screen here, there's a little jacket sticking out.
Yeah.
Do you want to wear the jacket?
Well, does it have a peak, hood, or snout, or notch? Oh.
Okay, doesn't work quite so well. Anyway, yeah, I don't know what those things are. Anyway, keep back at it, see how it goes. Whoops.
Ew.
Freelancers propose story on Indiana's WNBA team.
Something. Oh, WNBA. I was gonna say Pacers.
Pacers are the NBA. I don't know. Ant blank, period, personification. Ant flow. So that is...
Scoff. It's scoff.
It's scoff instead. Okay.
Yeah,
so
it didn't quite feel right.
It's all right.
Now I know.
Do you want to try to go through the downs again there? See what we
Hi.
can do now? Okay, very
Hi.
good. Oh boy, speaking of Japanese on stream. Rebound. Catch, possibly?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's right, though. Gives a take.
Still a no?
No idea. And then the freelance thing, bad word, better cuts. All right. Like the key of many a somber song. Well,
Minor.
okay, that works, absolutely. Minor works great. A sequel might introduce a new one. A theme, a character, who knows? I think Disheveled State is probably just mess.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Lapel, presumably, can be notch, peak, or shawl.
Oh, okay.
Because, digging. Into. Can you dig it?
Yes, I
can. Smidgen. Small amount. We'll see.
Iota, something like that.
Scientific research hub in a low Earth orbit.
Oh, the International Space Station.
Yeah, for the time being, the ISS. Smidgen.
Oh, is it going to be a skosh?
Oh, yeah, that's absolutely right.
Which is borrowed from Japanese, actually.
Is it really?
Skoshi.
Skoshi. What does skoshi mean?
A little.
Skoshi.
A bit.
Okay. In the English, how's that spelled?
S-K-O-S-H.
S-K-O-S-H.
A skosh.
A skosh. I wonder when it was borrowed from Japanese.
I assume it comes through Hawaii.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. All right. Harriet Tubman portrayer Cynthia. Looks like Encino to me. I have no idea.
Like your friend Brendan Fraser.
Oh, absolutely. Like a highlighter pen, typically it's
neon.
It's neon.
I like highlighters.
Oh boy. Southern neighbor of Turkey is Syria. Finito. It might be just done, possibly also.
Okay, that's much better.
But who knows? Features of many lists. Top 10, I'm guessing. But I'm not sure that by any means. And then transition off of breast milk is to wean. Yeah, absolutely.
Some cats get weaned too early.
Let me check this Sean here. Nickname that drops non. Shannon.
Yes. I don't know if I actually call it Shan.
We'll see. Columnists who report in Chicago's...
We see a theme. This is
it is a theme.
Down themes, though. That's
the down themes are columnists who write on various basketball teams. So Chicago's WNBA team. So it looks like Sky Riders.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing it's the Chicago Sky.
Yeah.
I think we need to spend some time learning the
WNBA teams.
WNBA teams. There's a real gap in our knowledge.
So we're going to go out and study for the crossword?
Yeah, absolutely. Cosmetics company based in Clichy, France.
L'Oreal.
I assume so. L'Oreal.
A-L,
thank you. Quadruple platinum Alicia Keys album of 2007.
As I am, I assume, not Asian.
I was ready for Asian. I was like, I don't think she's Asian, but okay, Asian indeed, as I am. Cool. Let's see if we can get a big cross here, and then we'll stop for now. So, TV broadcast, but Phoenix's WNBA team. Yeah, who knows? Who knows?
Yeah.
I actually want to see these. Sequel might introduce a new one.
Something is
A
wrong.
basic step in crumping.
Stomp?
A stomp, yeah. So top 10 is my mistake. I apologize. So it's probably a new enemy. Yeah. Do you want to do crump right here?
I don't know how to.
Do you want to get filled up on that purple drink?
I don't know what this.
All right, and then a sub-device is sonar. That's enough for now. A fine start. Thank you for your excellent work today, Noms. Thank you for your excellent singing. I appreciate that.
It's sonaring.
It's sonaring, indeed. All right, out of only Mojo, I'll go. Hello, Nomadic Jam. It's always good seeing you, my friend. Thank you all for being here still. That was Is that a honking horn outside?
Yeah, it sounds like a bicycle horn.
Yeah, I thought it was our cat crying.
I thought at first it was our cat.
Yeah.
Now I'm wondering whether somebody is like bing bonging.
No, that's not a bing bong noise.
Oh, you can hear the bing bong noise?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I tend to ignore it when it's the postal service, but yeah, absolutely. My apologies, you can't hear that, but it sounded like a bicycle horn indeed. Ha! Fine. But yeah.
Somebody thought you were really funny there. Like a clown? The clowns use those bicycle horns?
FYI, tonight's the opening evening for the WNBA. Okay, that's presumably why it's WNBA focused, but no, I just don't know the teams at all yet. Yeah, we should know these, though. We gotta work on that. And we gotta work on learning
I don't really believe in studying for the crossword.
I do.
Because I feel like that's a version of cheating or just a waste of one's time.
I don't mean in the middle of the crossword we should stop and go look things up. But I mean, like, one prepares oneself for the world, and one should know more things generally. And that's good. That's good. The thought is that perhaps you're pinging some sonar that ping back. They know where you are now. We'll see.
Yeah. All
right. Any other stories you want to share today, Noms? Anything else you want to talk about? Or shall we get on with today?
I had something, but now I've forgotten it.
That's all right. You're not teaching this next semester, so nothing to talk about with that. You're just busily doing your thing. Yeah, the big question is still, will your new assistant dean accept the position?
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
You made the offer on
Tuesday.
It is now.
That said, she does not need to reply until like Thursday of next week.
All right. Hopefully she gets back and hope she says yes. Because if not, you waste a lot of time and you're going to be big angry.
And then what happens?
We stomp back to the United States in outrage.
I was going to say, we eat our feelings in this family.
Oh, that's true.
There are 3 pizza boxes upstairs.
Last week was a rough week. Last week was a rough week indeed. But yeah, we had a rule for a while that we could have no more than 1 pizza box in the house. But then Sasha got quite sick, and that changed pretty quickly.
Fritz also eats his feelings. So.
Yeah, Fritz is doing okay, though. Fritz is a good cat.
He's being a good boy. He seems oblivious to the disappearance of Sasha. But she's disappeared on him before, right? When she's been at the hospital, like... Yeah.
Yep. All good.
Yeah.
All right. What are you going to do today while I'm streaming?
I do not know.
I would like you to relax.
I was like, maybe clean up the LDK.
Yeah. If you want to do housework, you're welcome to, of course. But
maybe listen to a little podcast.
Sounds nice. Yeah, your call entirely.
Yeah, I downloaded a sample of the 1-volume edition of Lord of the Rings.
See, this is the thing that Noms has been talking about for probably a couple of years now.
Yeah.
That it is time to read Lord of the Rings. Because you've read The Hobbit, but
it's quite charming.
You've not seen Lord of the Rings movies.
Intentionally, because I was going to read the book.
You're a book first person, which is great and awesome and good. But you are... maybe it's finally time.
I just never got around to it. And then, like this week, our IT guy made a joke about going out of the Shire. So I was like, yeah, I should probably read those.
Yeah, absolutely. Book is better just long. I mean, you said before, Noms, that you absolutely love The Hobbit because of the particular way Tolkien puts the stories together, and particular way in which
it's his prose in particular.
Yeah, I mean, he's a classicist of a sort.
He's a philologist.
Yeah. So he's of your kind. So I'm sure you're gonna love it. And yeah, once you're done with the books, then we can watch the movies, and we can do one of those watch all 3 films in one sitting thing, and not sleep. That'll be great fun. So
Yeah.
last time I tried that, I fell asleep during the second one, and that was the end of that.
Yeah, I mean, that's usually what happens with a lot of trilogies, right? The second one is a little, yeah. Yeah, so I looked today in the hard copy of it that I have, and I actually got like probably a third or a quarter through the first one. So,
Oh, really?
yeah, but now I don't really remember what happens. I have to start over. But yeah, there's all these long series and long books that I want to read, right? So there's that one. I still, I didn't get past like the first quarter of Game of Thrones. And then I read Dune when I was in high school, but I want to reread it. And I've been told Lonesome Dove is really, really good. Oh, and then there's like the science fiction trilogy by the Chinese author. I think maybe it's like Xixin Liu or something. Yeah.
This is the one who wrote the
two-body
problem. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, all very, very good books. But that's a tremendous list you have for yourself.
Yeah.
It's a month of reading.
It's more than a month. I read slow.
It's 2 months of reading.
I read real slow.
No, I mean, I think one of the big problems, as you full well know, is our reading time is often just before bedtime. And one of us, when they are comfortable and reading, fall asleep.
Yeah.
And I think you've said previously that you have dropped the book on your face.
Oh, yeah.
With a Lord of the Rings text, you will break your nose.
Well, so I do have the hard copies in paperback, but I just downloaded a sample from the one volume onto my Kindle.
Okay. So you only dropped a little electrical device in your face.
Yeah, and I'm considering it just because it's only like $15.99 for the Kindle of all of the volumes, and then I get it on a little Kindle.
Yeah, and of course the other thing is we don't have that much space in this house.
Yeah.
In our last place, we could have shelves and shelves of books with no problems, but
who's the person who keeps buying more books every single time we go someplace that has books there?
I really enjoy the physicality of books. I
do
do not like reading on e-devices. I just probably missed that part of technology when it came out, and I was too old at that point probably. So in the future, when everyone's using their Star Trek tablets, I will still be carrying my giant pile of books around. That said, I'm totally fine with like donating them to a good cause.
That's the thing. That's what I like about physical books, is that you can actually lend them to people. I'm like, what am I going to do? Lend my entire Kindle to somebody?
Yeah. This is why like you own nothing. You merely have a lease for these things.
Yeah, I think that's why I was so against like streaming music services at the beginning, because I wanted to have my little CDs. But
did you have like one of those big Trapper Keepers full of CDs? Like, with big books you pull in.
Yeah, kind of. Except I liked having the actual CDs. So
yeah,
I saw up here. Yeah, Kim Jong-soo said, "Can one get expelled from a job for not having seen Lord of the Rings?" Only in ITs, I suspect.
Yeah. I mean, there's certain kind of nerdy positions, and we
Oh,
may be in them. But yeah, it's one of the things where I think you have to give your nerd card back. Much like when I say I haven't watched Doctor Who. Oh.
Or Firefly.
Or Firefly, whatever.
Or Battlestar.
All right, that's enough. Let's stop listing things. It's making me uncomfortable. Or Beetlejuice, for that matter. Never seen Beetlejuice. That's not quite the same kind of nerding, but I'm a person born in the 80s. I should see these things. Never seen it, though.
Yeah, I'm not good at the Tim Burtons. I didn't see a lot of the Tim Burtons.
Okay, so maybe we're defective in a similar way.
That's okay.
That's okay.
That's okay. You didn't see Short Circuit either.
I saw the ad for Short Circuit, and I remember like some scene in which the little robot fellow got zapped and started smoking, and this terrified me. And I worried it'd be a tragic and scary film, and I wanted no part in it.
Like WALL-E.
Ah.
WALL-E is a tragic and scary film in some ways.
Yeah. It's beautiful at the same time, though. Hard to say. As an adult, I'd probably watch Short Circuit, but as a child,
it's probably not good now. It's from like 1983. And we can probably see just how clunky all the props are because we're going to watch it in HD.
Did you just suggest that things from 1983 are no good? I'm from 1983.
Uh-oh.
Oh, speaking of which, one of the student speakers at commencement yesterday, in passing said, like, here's the story of my life. When I was born in 1998.
Yeah.
And there was a very senior professor in front of me that went, oh. Also, my ceiling just fell. Very good. Yeah, I rehung this one just yesterday evening, and it's already not working.
Well, it's getting very humid.
Yeah, I think the humidity is causing problems, but yeah.
A very senior professor in front of you, and
Yeah, it was so sad. Like I think I began to feel it also. The thought that someone of that vintage is finishing college, it just throws off my sense of what year is it.
How old is this senior professor?
I don't know how old these people are.
Like 60 something?
I assume so.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's WS.
Oh, yeah, he's older than one thinks. I actually don't know how old he is.
Yeah. I think he's in his 60s at least.
Yeah.
Anyway, so there's that.
Yeah, I graduated from high school in 97.
I'm aware.
Yeah, I had graduated from high school when a little baby commencement speaker.
Absolutely right. Right. I think that's an experience, we all have of like, hey, I'm still young and cool. Oh gosh, the children were born after I had a family, and that sort of thing.
But I think that makes sense, right? If you're old enough to be this person's parent, then it follows that they would have been born after,
Exactly right. You were in high school, I was born. Exactly right. I know we have people of all ages in our community here. Some much older than I am, some much younger than I am, and surely I'm the mean age. I must be the mean age. Schwartzy, it's a great point that with albums and CDs, you usually listen to the whole thing. I'm definitely someone who... these days I have my favorite songs, I play my favorite songs over and over again, and I don't really go listening to the rest of albums in general. I think you've said similar, right? That you kind of miss the structure of listen through all of this as a sonic experience.
Yeah, I'm bemoan the loss of the album as a conceptual organizing structure.
Yeah.
And also, like, the tape, right? I'm from the tape era. So, like, I'm from the era where you know what track on side B corresponds to what part on side A.
Did you, record tapes for your friends?
Yeah.
That's great.
Mixtapes, of course.
Mixtapes.
But it's also, like, if you have a favorite song, this is the thing. This is the thing, right? So, in my era...
All you.
What is happening?
I'm gonna get some coffee.
But these people want to watch you play a game.
After you rant and my coffee, I'll play a game. Be back.
Oh,
this
well,
is the thing.
This is the thing, right? And the thing is that in my generation, if you wanted to listen, if you had a favorite song on an album and you wanted to listen to it over and over and over, you actually had to, so you listened to it and then you either rewound it, right? And then that risked like the tape getting worn down or accidentally getting the tape getting eaten, or you had to flip it to the other side, listen to whatever was on the other side for about the same amount of time, and then flip it back, right? And I think like that what I was going to rant about is that I feel like that taught me a certain amount of patience, discipline. I don't know, that I had to like wait to listen to what I wanted to listen to over and over and over, right? As opposed to I can just hit one button and listen to it again, or I can just hit the like repeat button 2 times and it just is on one song repeat, right? So now I just sound like an old cranky ranting person. But yeah. So that I can, yeah. And then I saw that someone said that Battlestar is really good. I completely agree, and I was gonna point out to Riz, I was gonna read it out to him so that he could appreciate that comment about Battlestar Galactica. Yeah. Okay, so now that was my rant, but let's talk about stuff. What you guys got? Your first cassette was Paula Abdul. My first cassette was Milli Vanilli. So kind of same era, right? I did used to have that Milli Vanilli tape, and I was like, I wonder if this will be worth something one day. And then, now that I think about it, probably there's a bazillion Milli Vanilli tapes, and it's probably not worth anything because everybody has Milli Vanilli tapes. Okay. Oh, you recently got into vinyl. Yeah, I never got into vinyl. I don't know. I think for me, I worried that it was too fragile and that I would break them. But I think my dad was hugely into vinyl, but he's also from the era when vinyl was the thing. Okay. Oh, speaking of tapes, I asked my students last semester, I asked them, like, do you know how to record onto a tape. And they kind of looked at me and I said, so for example, if you bought a tape from the store and then you wanted to record over it, do you know how to do that? And they just looked at me with these blank faces. I said, you see, you tape over the little square. And I think they thought I was crazy. Yeah. Nomadic Jam, you said season 4 was a bit wonky. You mean of Battlestar? So I happen to like the Battlestar ending. I'm one of those. Oh, also Riz knows the Battlestar ending because I said, are you ever going to watch it? And he said, probably not. So there we go. We have our answer already.
Yeah, it's important to know these things. It's important to know these things.
Oh, I said, I saw that Dogtown USA said that their first tape was TLC's Crazy Sexy Cool. Yeah, I think, so you must be a little bit younger than me, but like, yeah. Wow! Dogberry, your first tape was George Strait's Oceanfront Property, which is a great song, actually, right? Do you know the song?
No, I know nothing.
Oh, the song is like, I have some oceanfront property that I want to sell you.
Oh.
In Arizona. And then, what is it? But then, no, is it Arizona or is it Oklahoma? I think it's Oklahoma. Oceanfront property in Oklahoma.
Uh-huh.
And if you buy that, he'll throw the Golden Gate in free.
Oh, that's fun. Actually, yeah. I might know the song. My father listened to that kind of country music back in the 90s.
George Strait is great.
That's great.
George Strait is great.
Yeah.
First CD was Ace of Base. I wonder what my first CD was.
My first tape was MC Hammer's Please Hammer Don't Hurt Them. I believe is the name of the album.
I think it's Please Hammer Don't Hurt
sorry.
Yeah.
And my first CD was also Ace of Base's I Saw the Sign. Or just The Sign, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was not a discerning customer of music.
I mean, I feel like a lot of us weren't. I wonder, Nomadic Jam, which Metallica? Like, was it the Black Album?
See, this is the thing that you bring to the channel that I just can't.
Let's just talk about pop culture. Marks the Cylon says the ending was spectacular because it marks the Cylon.
Oh, I see.
Cylons are...
Yeah, in Battlestar?
Yeah, Battlestar.
Got it.
Yeah. Oh, the police synchronicity. Oh, that's great. That's good. Yeah.
Yeah, Agnark has taste.
What?
Agnark has taste.
Yeah.
I surely do not.
Yeah.
That's okay.
A good friend of ours loves the police, right? And he still wears all these band shirts. I don't know if he goes to Spencer Gifts in the store and gets them because they're not holy. They don't have holes in them like they're from 1983.
Maybe he takes amazing care of them.
You think so?
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, he doesn't take amazing care of his toe or his rotator cuff, so somehow I don't think he takes
How it goes.
Yeah,
McDonald's like a virgin. Absolutely gay merchant. Because you're 15.
Oh, right, the lightning.
This is a great topic. Thank you for bringing this one up. It's a good one.
Yeah, Dogberry's first CD was Jurassic Park soundtrack.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, occasionally, like, when we're at the botanical garden.
Yeah. Whenever I see a giant foliage.
Plants, you start singing.
Da 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 da.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's great. I think it's a cultural moment of great importance. I'm glad we have together.
Yeah, I always think about what is it? Straight No Chaser. That
It's an
acapella group,
yeah.
Right? They do like a movie themes.
They do
montage or not montage? What is that called? A melange.
Pastiche.
Yeah.
What's that word for it? Medley.
Yeah.
Medley.
Yeah, which includes Jurassic Park, but then they put words to it.
Yeah, which are
there are dinosaurs
in Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
There we go. Hey, Volo, good seeing you, my friend.
Scholastic Fair. Yeah, those are so awesome.
Hello.
Gary Enkles is talking about getting the Star Wars soundtrack from a Scholastic Fair. Do you remember those?
Scholastic Fair was like when outside vendors would bring books into the schools.
Scholastic would bring books.
Is Scholastic a publisher?
It's not a publisher, I don't think, or maybe they're a reseller
I don't know.
of like children's books. So yes, it's that, but I think it was Scholastic. And then they would have like a little paper catalog too. But I think one thing that I worry about, I think I may even have worried about it as a child, is like the prices of books. Right? I may have worried about it as like a child consumer, right? Like, oh, this book is really expensive. This book is less expensive. Yeah. But like as an adult, what I worry about is like, do children go in and say, oh, I can't actually get any books? And are there programs that help like families that can't afford books at Scholastic. Because
Yeah.
my last school actually still did the Scholastic Fair, but it's because it had a giant education department. So it was for the students who were learning to be teachers.
Yeah, it's always striking when there are, college juniors and seniors taking children's literature, and they're like, "We're going to read Little Bo Peep this week. How do you teach?" I mean, it's fine, it's good. I'm sure it's very important work, but
That said, yeah, institutions all over the world are now teaching YA in English courses, right?
let's not become
so-
elitist today.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying that's the road you were going down.
Yeah. No, I know nothing what happens in those classrooms. I thought it very funny when one of my students before class was reading, I don't recall what it was, but it was some book I'd read when I was 4. Like, what are you doing? She's like, I'm learning to teach this one. I'm like, that's amazing.
Oh.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
very
yeah.
surprising. Yeah.
Oh, Ice Baby. So this reminds me that when I was in 5th grade, 4th grade, maybe, was when Ice Baby got big. And that was also the era when dancing was big. And so me and my friends...
When dancing was big, isn't it still big?
Yeah, I guess so. But so I think my friends and I, like, we choreographed and learned some dance to Ice Baby.
You've never told me this story.
Yeah, I just remembered it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that also reminds me that one of my colleagues, who is like a 50-something grown $$ woman who likes golfing and tennis and other high-class things.
Vacationing in Dubai.
Yeah.
No.
Right. I just mentioned something about country line dancing the other day, and she's like, "Oh, I want to learn country line dancing. Will you teach me country line dancing?" And I'm like, "I don't really know it."
But she knows you're from the rural Midwest. You must know it.
Yeah. But then we were talking about me and then my colleague who was originally from Texas. We were talking about how it's gotten big again in the States.
Yeah. It was quite big back in the 90s. I remember that part of my gym class in middle school was to learn various kinds of dancing. And I felt best about line dancing and then other dances where you are told collectively what to do, like slide to the left or
Cha-cha.
Cha-cha real slow, etc. All very good. When it was time to go touch another person's body, didn't enjoy that kind of dancing at all. Not a fan.
Okay, so I wonder if country line dancing is getting big again because post-COVID, people are having a hard time being in groups with other people, and so they need to be told what to do.
Yeah, it might be true.
So as long as I know what I'm supposed to be doing, I can be with other people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, definitely, I mentioned to you before that in my childhood town, there was a very my childhood town is not country in any way. It's suburbs of Chicago. But there's a place called.
It's not too far from the country, right? If you drive a little bit, you're in the country.
Let me finish the sentence. Let's see
Sure.
what you mean. So it had a place called Cadillac Ranch, and this was the big line dancing place on the weekends. And people would show up wearing giant cowboy hats and boots and spurs and so on. I don't know if they were spurs, but they should have. And this is behavior for being out west or down south, and we were near Chicago.
Yeah.
It just seemed bizarre. It felt like a kind of a fantasy dress up for them. Some people have Ren Fair, other people have the let's go boot scoot and boogie.
Yeah. I mean, I was in Nebraska at the time, but I was in a not a small, not rural Nebraska.
Yeah, you were in the big university town.
Yeah. Lincoln, yeah. And there was guitars and Cadillacs where people did the same thing. And people from the rest of Nebraska will tell you that, Lincoln is not rural. It's not farming country.
Don't they refer to it as the Democratic...
Oh, no. The People's Republic.
People's Republic
of Lincoln.
Of Lincoln.
Yeah, cosplay cowboys. Yeah, probably so.
Yeah.
Now, I want to pull out Dogberry's comment that YA novels are a sneaky good way to learn a foreign language. I agree. Yeah. I would like to get to that point where I could do that with Japanese.
Yeah, your reading Japanese is not
It's
strong.
terrible. It's
not strong.
so terrible.
Yeah, I went to dinner last night at a new place.
Yeah.
It was perfectly fine and good.
It was not our usual Indian.
Because
Big rice.
We got out of the reception last night, or the reception last night after 11 o'clock, or maybe 10:45.
Yeah.
And Indian place closed at 11, so we couldn't do that. So we went walking through a part of town that we normally do not stop in. And looked at many of the signs that said open until 5 a.m. And that
Some of those are kind of scary.
some of them seem real seedy.
Yeah. Shinya Shokudo, Midnight Diner.
Yeah, it's one of your favorite shows on Netflix. I think they have a dubbed version of that, right? There's a subtitle, I can't remember.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, there's a place called Midnight Diner, a show called Midnight Diner on Netflix. It's absolutely fantastic. It's how we learned a fair amount about Japanese culture before we got here. And unfortunately, it's not nearly as dramatic as the things that happen in that little bar.
Yeah,
It's a great show, though. But yeah, lots of places that are open until 5 a.m., last order at 4:30, and I don't know if they're intended for people who work later hours, or if they're intended just for, like, the nightlife on the weekend. But yeah, I went through a lot of these, and ended up going to one that had an entirely Japanese menu.
And handwritten.
Handwritten, so very, very sloppy. And then large portions of it were in kanji.
Yeah, and it was, handwritten kanji, which means, here's some squiggles.
Oh, it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. Yeah, our vet wrote us a little note the other day of how to find where Sasha is now, what kind of cemetery, and really, it's just squiggles. To the point that I certainly can't distinguish what the kanji even is. Could you? Like, you have the app where you can construct kanji to see what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's all about context, right? So if you were reading English and there were some squiggles, I mean, and you knew that it was supposed to say something, pet cemetery.
Yeah.
Like, you'd be able to figure it out.
I think what I mean is, maybe, yeah. I think because I don't understand any of the kanji there. Like, I don't know how to even build the context. Now, then it says pet cemetery. I could probably wander around and find it. But, yeah, sloppy handwriting is a real challenge. Anyway, we went to a place that had fully kanji and Japanese menu there, and we fought our way through it. It was tasty food, and
yeah. There were enough katakana things that we could figure out what the food was.
Absolutely,
we know the words for meat, so we know the kanji for meat.
We did.
That said, it was funny because we were nervous because it was like, oh, it's like a mom and pop shop. I'd read the reviews and I had heard they were really good reviews.
Yeah.
But I knew it was like a mom and pop like restaurant. So we were kind of nervous, and we knew that the menu was just all handwritten in Japanese. And then we go in, and they're clearing a table and cleaning it up for us. And so we're waiting there in the doorway, and this woman comes out from the bathroom area, and she needs to scoop by us. And so she says, "Oh, excuse me." And
in
I
English.
thought, in English. And I thought it was because, she saw Little Resorty here, and was like, "Oh, that's clearly an English speaker. Excuse me." But then she goes and sits down and blah, 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 blah English to her companion there.
Yeah, so it was definitely a place that was Japanese style through and through. They did not have an English menu, but they were used to having English-speaking customers, it seemed.
Or just last night, they just had a lot of them.
We just got lucky. Anyway, the server, the man who was serving us, I think probably owns the place. I'm not certain on that.
I think so. I think they're a couple, and I think they own it.
Yeah.
Or they rent it.
But he was the most emphatically excited server I've had thus far. Like, most servers are really reserved and polite and careful, but this guy was over the moon, like, agreeable to things I would say. So I'd ask for a beer and he'd say, "Hi, hi, hi!" And like this, like, lifting, interested voice. I think, wow, that's a lot of energy. A lot of energy for after midnight. Settle down, you.
Yeah, he some people use kashikomariemashita. That's what he used for you. Which I think if you ever receive email from your Japanese colleagues and it starts with "noted," that's the translation of kashikomariemashita.
Right.
Yeah.
So friendly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they had these cute little figurines. I was like, oh, these are so cute. And then
there were cats that were dressed up as various other animals.
Yeah, they're so cute. If you have a chance to Google these, it's like a cat with a shrimp on top of its shrimp tail, a shrimp body, wearing a shrimp tail.
We should take pictures.
Hat.
I didn't even think of it, though.
Well, I thought about it, but I thought it might be rude.
Yeah.
I mean, they're sold commonly here, but they're so cute.
Yep.
But then he was guffawing about that too, right?
Yeah, because you commented directly that these are cute.
Yeah.
To the mother of the house first.
To him first.
Oh, to him
I think
first.
I was just because we were paying him.
That's right. And so you announced they're so cute, and he said...
Oh, and he said, well, I was thinking that if we ever have kids in here, like kids who come in, this would be something like for them to be able to look at and play with.
Yeah, it was nice.
Ha, 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 ha.
Yeah, he was very welcoming and friendly, and it's always nice to just meet people that, for me at least, feel somewhat distanced because of language troubles. That are just so friendly and engaging, and humans, I suppose. Yeah, it's nice. It's nice. Hello, Cajun Killer. Good seeing you. Welcome.
I just realized we haven't responded to that email from student engagement.
That's true. Do you want to respond to that one today?
I'll do that.
Oh, very good.
The answer is yes, thank you so much, right?
Yeah, I don't want to tell the whole story, but we've been going back and forth in an office on campus about a slight miscommunication. And we have said like 3 or 4 times now, yes, that's fine. That works for us. Don't you worry. And they keep sending us more emails saying, all right, you're saying that this is okay. Don't worry. And we say, yes, it's okay. Don't worry. And now at this point they have asked us again, is it okay? Don't worry. I hope this event comes soon enough so that they'll stop asking us questions. Yeah, very, very strange.
Why am I being asked my favorite South Park song?
I don't know. Last week we talked about South Park. I said I don't really enjoy it at all. I said that you enjoy it quite a bit.
Oh, yeah. It's hard to pick a favorite because, I like... it doesn't... like Cartman has those ones where he takes... regular pop songs and replaces all the babies with Jesus. Those are pretty fun. The Faith Plus One commercial. I also like La Resistance from the movie. That's a good one. Mm-hmm. What else? What else is there? I mean, Cartman's rendition of Come Sail Away is pretty good.
Yeah, I think I suggested South Park was overly juvenile for me, and then here you go.
And I really like what was it, the 100th episode, the 300th episode, the one where it looked like they were going to end the series. That was really good. That was really good. And then they played Landslide. It was really good.
Apparently, Beavis and Butthead's coming out with a new series. You could watch that and enjoy it also.
I don't understand Beavis and Butthead.
I see.
I watch it and I don't understand it. Okay, Poker Face. See? San Diego, I do not know.
Yeah,
I don't know that one. But of course, they were the same people that made Book of Mormon, right? And Book of Mormon is it? What's my favorite song from Book of Mormon? What's yours?
I don't know if I have one. I mean,
really?
I like the show in general, but I don't know if anyone stands out as being especially amazing.
Hello.
I think part of it is because the jokes aren't wordplay based, and for me, the best humor to enjoy over and over again is word humor.
That's why you like patter songs?
Absolutely. Yeah, I think their jokes are more like, I don't know, either conceptual or vulgar or mocking and funny ones, but
or maybe they're more like satirical.
Yeah, I find satire
parodic.
A little bit questionable when misaimed.
What would Brian Boitano do is a good one.
Yeah, I actually know that song. I do like that one. It's true.
You like the guy in Hello on Book of Mormon who hits the high notes at the end?
Sure.
Yeah.
I do. That's
I think
impressive.
you had me listen to a compilation of those or something?
I did. Yeah, all the different singers from all around the world singing the same part. I heard you from upstairs, you downstairs, talking about songs playing on repeat. As you know, I'm a big fan of that. Big fan of listening to the exact same song over and over again. Sometimes the same 30 seconds of a song over and over again. Do you remember the night we met in Chicago and I was unwell and I made you listen to The Magnetic Fields, Andrew and Drag over and over for genuinely 3.5 hours?
No, I've forgotten this night entirely. And it wasn't even like the CD version of it. It was some like live version of it.
Yeah, it was a really good live version, and
you can't find it now.
I can't find it now. It's true, and Stephen Merritt, the singer on that, has a rough quasi-bass voice, and my singing range is similar and also rough. So I listen to it and say, I could sing that song. These pretty tenor songs, I have no chance on.
Yeah, I think it's funny where sometimes on the word drag, he like kind of gets himself, like hoists himself up to that note.
Yeah.
He's like, Andrew and drag.
Yeah, it's great. Absolutely great. That's the kind of music I'm into. Absolutely.
I'd like to see Avenue Q too.
Excellent.
That said, our last place in Nebraska did, like, I think the high school or somebody did Avenue Q, and we're like, how? And then we learned there's a safe for younger communities and younger audiences version of it.
Yeah. I can't imagine doing it straight. It's a pretty ribald show in places. Yeah, as we mentioned before, we definitely have the goodbye noms.
No, I'm just flipping sides with you.
We should say goodbye pretty soon.
Yeah, because people are here to actually probably all the people from the nice radio host are like, ugh, no games. Bye.
Possibly so. I don't know what to say, but one thing I was going to say is the Tokyo art scene does have a whole bunch of plays coming and Broadway shows coming to sing in Japanese, and I look forward to seeing those and reporting on those very soon. But yeah, we like musicals. We do.
Someone has mentioned that it's almost time for next crossword.
That's actually not true. We still have 20 minutes. 20 minutes for sure.
Well, that's kind of almost time. I realized when you said you were listening to me upstairs. I am using teacher voice at this moment.
You are using teacher voice. It's true.
Yeah,
it's true.
So I was trying to make sure I was projecting, but then I ended up using teacher voice,
which is hyper projecting for small classrooms.
Well, and yesterday when I was reading the names, I was using teacher voice, and I would lean into the mic, so I felt bad. I think audio guy was probably like, "Oh gosh." Pull that down.
Yeah, we don't have live audio here. I need to work on getting some sort of soundboard to remix for you.
I wonder if I was getting way too high. I wasn't looking at the...
So it is the case that there's a hard cap on our audio system. It cannot peak.
Oh, and people are trying to go to sleep. I'm so sorry.
Well, they can turn us down.
And here I am ranting about not having patience because they just need to push a button and then they can listen to things over and over on repeat now.
It's absolutely fine. It's absolutely fine. I always say that, though I'm glad to have people watching while falling asleep, my primary aim is the people who are awake still. if I were to aim the content at people who are trying to fall asleep, it would be, very, very quiet, very, very peaceful, and that's
you would have one of those microphones that are ears.
Yeah, the binaural, something like that.
Yeah.
Do ASMR? Probably not. Yep. Any other topics you like to talk about, Noms, or should we head along?
Dog Ray's gotta run out, but he's gonna come back. That reminds me of when I used to do that. I would drive over to Taco Bell, get food, and drive back, which was in the next town over.
Wait, when did you do that?
When you were streaming where you were, and it was the first year I was at my last post.
Oh, yeah. We lived apart then, but you'd watch me on the stream.
Yeah, I would watch you on stream, but of course it went for hours and hours and hours.
Yep.
And so I would come and I would watch for a little bit, and then I would go out and get taco fries.
Yeah.
And come back.
Taco fries, a thing we do not get here.
No, sorry, nacho fries.
Nacho fries. I mean, also...
We haven't been to the Taco Bell here.
We've not been to Taco Bell here, that's true.
Do you still want to go to Zoom Sushi today?
I don't know.
You were talking about it last night, but you might have just been the beer talking about going to Zoom Sushi.
After a couple of beers, I was this moment of, I wish to consume all of the food, thank you. Now, luckily last night, the donut shop was closed at that point, because that is the path to, let's go get 12 donuts, and make sure they're gone by the next day.
Yeah, so, what did you tell me? Oh, yeah. I was teaching Rizordi the word otsumami, which is... finger food snacks that go with beer, and there's a whole section in any grocery store here. There's a whole section for otsumami, finger food beer snacks.
Yeah, we're in the U.S. There is kind of a snack wall that's these small bags of chocolate or whatever.
Yeah.
Here there are beer snacks.
It's beer snacks, and it's usually dried fish.
Yeah, a lot of dried fish,
nuts.
Nuts.
They're all salty.
Yeah, cheese things.
Yeah, your beloved smoked cheese.
My beloved smoked cheese, absolutely.
And then, so I was telling him this, right? I was teaching him this word. And then Rizordi says...
I actually don't recall what I said.
I think you said something like, oh, do you know what a great otsumami is? And I was like, oh yeah? What is it? And you said...
The donuts.
Donuts.
Absolutely. I don't know. After a drink or two, I like a solid old-fashioned donut. The kind of thing that I think of old men putting into their coffee in the morning to get the day started.
They have to put it into their coffee because they have no teeth.
Perhaps. I really enjoy that kind of donut, though. It's so good. Yeah, it's nice. Absolutely. Agnork said this is the best part of the stream. I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree with you at all.
Talking about food? Popular music, and what was your first CD?
Just talk about whatever. I think it's nice to have a human conversation with human people. Beep boop. I sound like a robot.
I mean, now you could totally do that by opening up the window that's right there and talking to every person that walks by.
If the window were open and I were talking to random Japanese people, they would call the police. The window is not for being opened. The window is a decorative touch for I don't know, any day when I'm not standing in this room.
I mean, it's too bad for that. It's too bad that we're on a dead-end street. Because could you imagine just people walking by and you're like, hello?
What
What are you doing today?
As we've mentioned before, but not recently, there are a number of television shows here in Japan that are, hello, foreigner, why are you here? And so these roving gangs of camera crews in the large tourist-friendly area, especially of Tokyo. And unfortunately, if you stand out too much, they will run up to you and say, sir, and want to ask you about why you're in Japan.
Yeah.
This happened to me, I think, twice now. Even though we don't go to the big parts hardly at all.
I mean, I do, but you really don't.
Yeah, I don't head there all that often.
Yeah.
And so it wouldn't be exactly out of character with Japanese environment to say, hello, random person on the street, let's chit-chat. But I think most people would not tolerate it.
Yeah, there are also the streamers.
Oh, God, yeah. I refuse to be an outdoor streamer here. Never, never, never.
Yeah.
They're terrible and loud and really ruin some nice places.
Yeah, one of those shows, probably the one that's probably most well known, I think I saw it on Netflix too, is like, it's called Why Are You in Japan, right?
Right.
But the Japanese title is You wa Nihon e Nande or something like that. But the word you is in English.
Yeah. Yeah, the inclusion of random English words in Japanese phrases.
Yeah.
Because we said before, English is cool here. And that's just very strange.
Yeah.
So, maybe it was writer's strike affecting Japan. I don't really know at all.
I mean, not the Japanese shows.
Yeah, but there is a big market here for
Yeah.
American shows, American movies. And so there's probably some indirect effect. But
Yeah.
no, the Japanese movies and television shows, I don't believe are unionized writing groups.
No.
But we don't really follow Japanese news too closely here because we don't read Japanese.
Yeah, the other day I was looking for like a Japanese news version, like a daily briefing news podcast.
Yep.
And I couldn't really find one.
Yeah.
Well, I found one that was like, too many vocabulary words I didn't know.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to have to, I think, fight your way through that to learn, the important words you need to use as president of the school here. But
I mean,
yeah.
NHK has a whole Easy Japanese section of their website and Easy News, but I'm surprised they haven't made a podcast.
Yeah.
At the same time, because Deutsche Welle has they have a whole series of things for German learning, right?
Yeah.
Slow German news, and it's like a podcast and everything. I'm surprised, but at the same time, I'm not surprised that NHK hasn't done this because
they'll send you a faxed daily reading report, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Get your fax machine on. Yeah, what did I order recently? I ordered that new laptop, and as part of the ordering sheet for the laptop, there was a question of what is your fax number?
Yeah.
And I was just absolutely struck by how it felt so out of step with what I'm used to. Because everything's done by email now, other than medical forms. But yeah, very strange, very strange, very strange.
Yeah. So what were we talking about?
A lot of things.
Oh, right. Yeah, I think like NHK has like Easy News, and I think you can even listen to it, but you have to actually go to the website. It's like one of those things where like even like remember when we came into the country and there was an app that you had to fill out for COVID?
Yep.
But then all it was it took you to a website?
Yeah, you push a button in the app and it goes to a website instead.
Which is so text heavy?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's like, back in the early 2000s, you go to a website and there'd be an embedded real player.
Yeah, that's essentially what the
basically what it
NHK
is right now.
website is.
Yeah. I mean, that said, I've been impressed by how you're working on your Japanese vocabulary throughout, and so you'll be able to talk about politics. But you're not allowed to, because if you do, we'll get deported.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, one of my colleagues, I think, he's very good. Like, he's like the local onboarder, informal onboarder, where he's like, in Japan, what we do is, now he's American, right? And he's just lived here for a long time. So he's like, you'll notice that the Japanese word for da-da-da is da-da. But the thing is, like, some people find it very tiresome.
Oh, yeah.
But for me, it's quite helpful.
Yeah.
Where he'll say, the blah blah part of this word is actually the same as the blah blah part of this word. It's actually the same character. And so did you know that? And I'm like, oh, that's really useful. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I think it comes off as a bit know-it-all.
Yeah.
I think he's someone who wants to feel useful, as probably all do, but he believes his special utility is explaining everything about Japan to the strange foreigners who arrive here.
Yeah.
And I think as a new person in Japan, there's already so much that's overwhelming that being told anything new is not helpful. Unless that something new is like, here's what you do at the grocery store. Here's how you set up your cell phone. Like, that kind of stuff, super useful. But, yeah.
And sometimes it's redundant or it's stuff you already know that he tells you.
Right.
So I think he comes across as pedantic.
Absolutely.
But I think he's trying to be helpful. What was I gonna say? Okay. Yeah.
What do you say? Okay.
I don't remember. Yeah, like how it. Yeah. Well, this is also the same person that I ranted about before I met in person. Right. I ranted up and down the hall last year saying, "I hate that guy. I hate that guy."
Yeah, it's been strange to see how differently you feel about people now that you're working with them in person versus working with them on Zoom. Because your first, 6 months in the job, 5 months in the job, you were working in Japan on Japan hours from your office or house in Nebraska. And you had some pretty negative opinions about a lot of your colleagues.
Yeah, I think part of it is, I think he does well, particularly in impromptu things. So he knows I drink coffee, so in the middle of the day, he'll just come over with part of a pot and he'll say, "Will you help me polish off this pot?" and stuff.
Yeah.
So he's very the casual interactions work really well with him. Also, I had read him to be intentionally obstructive in that meeting.
Sure.
When he was didn't mean to be intentionally obstructive, was just talking.
Yeah, but because you didn't know him as a person, you only knew him as this floating head.
Yeah.
You just knew him as this floating head talking at you. And so now you like him quite a bit. But yeah, you genuinely marched up and down the hall from your office to the kitchen, back and forth, shouting, "I hate that guy! I hate that guy! I hate that guy!" And now he's one of the people you like most here, I think. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
It's absolutely great. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like my little uncle there.
Yeah, that's great. Though indeed pedantic, he's tried to lecture me about political philosophy.
Yeah, I actually, 2 nights ago, there was a reception, and I genuinely just walked away from him. Now, he was talking to somebody else. He was like, "Hey, come hang out with us. We're talking about that." And then he said, "Now what anarchy is?" And I said, "I'm out, guys, bye."
Yeah, it was just very, very strange, though, because, again, I teach political philosophy, and the way in which he's going to suggest that, he knows something about basic concepts I don't know, which is so strange. He didn't seem to want to have a conversation. He wanted to tell me what I should know. Weird.
And I think that's what people don't like about him, right? That's the same. I think maybe that's his, across all of his interactions with people. Yeah. That's what he does, right? He tends to tell you things as opposed to...
Yeah, discuss them.
Yeah.
Maybe he's trying to impress me. Maybe. That said, he is far older than I am. and has a far fancier title and a far fancier degree and all the rest. I hope that... I don't know. I hope that as people age and get comfortable in their lives, they stop trying to be impressive. But maybe some people really need that kind of affirmation that, "Ooh, you're great." So maybe I should have pulled up my little notebook and written an A on it and handed it over. "Oh, that's a good definition. Good job, buddy."
I think, my understanding is that before the current, president was there, nobody ever listened to him. Oh, okay. So I heard that, basically he was never asked for his opinion or for his expertise or anything. He was just kind of sat there and he was largely ignored or told to sit down and be quiet.
I see.
And so I think he's very eager to talk to people. And I think generally he's eager to talk to people. Now, we did see something magical happen last night with him where he's American, right? And he's been here since on and off since the 80s. Yeah. And his Japanese is really quite good, right? Yep. He interacts with Japanese businesses on our behalf.
We should just say he's an attorney.
Yeah.
He's an attorney who...
now, he's not a Japanese registered attorney.
Right. He's trained in the U.S., registered in the U.S., but he interacts with companies in a legal context.
Yeah,
And so he has the whole Japanese legal idiom down. It's quite impressive.
He drafts documents
In
in
Japanese,
Japanese, stuff
absolutely,
like that,
yeah.
right? Legal documents.
Yeah.
So yeah. And then, but, you know, he's like a white guy.
Sure.
And so I think he has this little chip on his shoulder from walking around Japan and everybody always assuming that he doesn't speak Japanese. Or people run up to him and say, "Oh, can I practice my English with you?"
Yeah.
Right. So
yeah.
last night we saw him get Nihongo Jozu'd.
Yeah, where he's having an informal conversation with a non-academic and just chatting about this and that in the sort of casual way you do. And yeah, this Japanese woman said Nihongo Jozu. Actually, not directly to him. It was to the conversation.
Yeah.
You and he were speaking at a time in Japanese, and she went, "Oh, Nihongo Jozu." Oh. And this means your Japanese is quite good. And it's seen as like a joking kind of offensive thing to hear.
Well,
it's never meant as an offensive thing to say.
Exactly.
But people who are very good at Japanese feel insulted when they're told, "Oh, your Japanese is so good," in kind of this like pat sort of way.
Yeah, because it's usually used for tourists who are here who look at their guidebook and they say one phrase that's like, "Hello, I would like a coffee."
Yes.
And then the barista's like, "Oh, your Japanese is so good."
Exactly.
And I don't think it's meant mockingly, but I think it's supposed to be like encouraging.
Yeah, thanks for making an effort.
Yeah.
Yeah, but with him, insofar as he is basically fluent,
Yeah.
it feels a little more mocking. That said, you have been Nihongo Jozu'd a few times also.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you say, I've lived in the U.S. for the past 40 years.
Yeah.
And they, "Oh, your Japanese is so good." And you always feel a little angry when that happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been Nihongo Juzu once, I believe, and I loved it. I thought it was the best thing ever. I was like, heck yes, I'm getting places. And no, my Nihongo is not Jozu. It is indeed Badu, and I say that word because I don't actually remember the Japanese word for bad right now.
Warui.
Yeah.
Hidoi.
I know there's Bachi and Dame, which means like bad in that sense, naughty.
Yeah.
You say it of a child who's being shameful, but yeah, it's a weird thing to have this phrase change its signification. At some point, I'll probably find it outrageous, but no time soon. Yeah. We have our ad break coming in about 3 minutes, so we'll chit-chat for another 3 minutes or so.
What does "feel snowy, man" mean?
Presumably it's an emote of some sort. Yeah, I don't have any of the emote programs installed, but yeah, anytime you see someone typing multiple words together that are different case styles like that, it means you could see an emote here if I had programs installed. But
see, I was asking about this because Nomadic Jam says I'm one of the locals now, Feel Snowy Man, and I asked about this because one of the kind of very popular boy idol bands in Japan is Snowman. So I thought maybe it might be a joke on Snowman, which one of my colleagues at work loves. It's our absolute favorite band. And it's a group of men, but the band is called Snowman singular.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, the idol culture around bands here and the carefully corporatized image of picking these 5 people who are beautiful in the right way, etc., etc. Yeah, I used to have Better Twitch TV installed, but I don't know why I turned it off at some point. We'll see. Ever thought of doing a chat stream? Yeah, I mean, Noms and I often do this kind of thing. And we have talked before about like just hanging out and just chatting. We are still in the CK3 directory. Whoops. On Saturdays especially. But yeah, I mean, I think my challenge always with just chatting streams, I can never quite tell if it's interesting for folks.
Yeah.
Like, if people are asking questions and going back and forth, it's absolutely great. But if it's the case that, like, we're just talking...
Just chatting.
Yeah, if we're just talking like we'd be talking on the couch upstairs, it begins to feel a little strange. Like, hopefully our conversation is interesting. I don't know. Did you go to the grocery store? Do we need to buy some more rice? How are the kids doing? That sort of thing.
And then we can switch over to the mukbang one.
Oh,
when we
eating on camera? Absolutely not. Besides, that's Korean, and we're not Koreans here, we're proud Japanese.
Yeah, so I had, going back to commencement, I had one Korean name who did not submit a pronunciation to me. one of my colleagues at work is Japanese, but has been studying Korean forever and is really good. And so I went up to her and I said, "How do I pronounce this name?" And then she said, "Without the Hangul, I'm really not sure." Which is what people have been saying all week to me, is unless it's written in the original language, really hard to say.
Yeah.
Which is to say, English must be an imprecise language.
I mean, there just aren't all of the markers and presentations of phonemes and so on. We don't have a clear marker for, is this vowel long?
Yeah.
We repeat the vowel, but it could just be two shorts in a row.
Yeah.
Cooperation with little diaresis. Say it twice. Oh, craziness. But yeah. I mean, if you'd like to, at some point soon, we can do some kind of just chatting stream. Like the whole day, nothing but talking, no CK3 allowed.
I feel like that puts the pressure on.
Oh, it does.
There's expectations.
It does.
And then I might freeze up.
We can prepare a list of things to talk about ahead of time.
Or I can just read some names. How about
You
that?
can read some names. We could do the filibuster thing, like they do in the Senate in the U.S.
Oh, yeah.
And read some green eggs and ham, allowed to you all the fill time. We can talk about our local industry. Gosh, pork products are great. When is an only nom stream? I mean, I don't think she'd be up for it.
We tried that, and I got motion sick.
Oh, that's right.
Then my tum-tum started feeling bad, and I'm like, why is my tum-tum... Oh.
Yeah, first-person games. Anyway, it's time for our crossword puzzle. Ad break of 3 minutes is coming right now. On the other side of that, we'll play some CK3, I believe, between now and then.
Yeah.
All right, very good. Here comes...
We didn't sing the school alma mater yesterday.
Did not sing an alma mater today. I missed that. I really enjoyed the singing in unison with faculty who are not music faculty. And that's how it goes.
Well, my colleague that we were just talking about, he stood next to me yesterday, and he hummed along to the Star Spangled Banner. Now, at my last school, there was somebody who was really, really tone deaf who sang along to it, and I had a really hard time keeping a straight face because it was so bad. That said, the U.S. anthem is difficult. It's a difficult piece to sing.
They did play the Japanese national anthem also, which I never know what's to end, like you said. It just kind of goes for a while.
Count the syllables.
And then it stops. There's no, big